Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Yeah, you know what? I don't know how many times I'm going to come to you live today. It could even be more. I know there was already one conversation with Dr. Kelly Eaton and I, and now Dr. Ashley Wilcoxson. Ash, thanks for joining me.
Of course.
So I love being in flow. So Ashley and I were just on a private coaching call, and she was just like saying profound things. I'm like, hey, like God nudged me. And so I said, you want to just go live? And she was like, sure. So Ash, let's let everyone in on the conversation of what does it mean to be in flow? And how can that be possible when life is like crazy?
Flow to me is like the ultimate freedom that I have been chasing my entire life. And I didn't even know what it was, but I just kept going to the next thing, the next thing. And now like flow is awesome. And it gives you so much freedom. So like tomorrow I'm going to court for custody of my children. And it is not even really on my radar at this moment to like focus about that 2 months ago. If before we started coaching and working on the flow and the mind, thought, and consciousness, I would have been like shut down for the entire week, freaking out about that and playing on TikTok and doing everything else but really what I wanted to be doing because I was so freaked out about that. And now I just it's there, but it's not really my life, and I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm just going through, and it's awesome.
I'm so proud of you. So proud of you for choosing your natural state. And I got to tell you, and I'm wondering, those of you in the audience, how many of you heard what Ashley just said? Like, I have a custody battle tomorrow in court, and I'm not worried about it. And how many of you honestly had this show up with judgment? Like, oh, she must not care about her kids. Oh, well, I'm not that kind of mom. Oh, well, blah, 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 and created this ridiculous story because of habitual thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And how often do we not even share the truth? Like if Ashley had been caught up in her own habitual thinking about what will other people think of me if I say my authentic truth, if I have vulnerable courage, what will others think of me? And you know what? What do you know, Ash, about what other people think of you?
You can't control it. And a year ago, when this first started, I went through that where I thought I was a horrible mom and I didn't want anyone to know, but I do share. And so I told anyone, I was like, yeah, this is what's going on. And I had to go through that whole process of not being able to control other people's thoughts. And then, going through what society decides that what your truth should be. We really live in society's truth, and learning what mine is and who I am. And it may not be part of the culture of our society today. It's more counterculture, as you put it, of living in flow. And yeah, like that's it's big change with that. And like we were also talking about what I want life to look like with my kids. And I went through all these things about like I want to help them and this and that and these things and trying to actually control their life and their future when you really can't. And eventually we got to that point where I just want to live in so much flow and abundance in my life that they come in and out as needed where they need it instead of me trying to live through them or control their lives. And so, yeah.
Which is like such a gift, right? And Ashley and I were talking about, and for those of you who are joining us now, I'd be curious to know, how many of you ever dated someone or even been in some kind of relationship with a person who your life, like you were everything to them? Like you're their happiness, you're their motivation, you're everything to them. Anyone? And how good does that feel?
Draining.
It's draining. It's suffocating. So let's all just sit in that for a moment, right? Someone on Facebook said, ugh. Let's just sit in that for a moment about what it means to have somebody else completely reliant on us for their joy, their happiness, their everything, their motivation, their dreams, their everything. And parents, listen to me here. When you do that to your children, they experience the same. Versus running lives that go like this with them. Like, because you take care of their every little need, because you tell them, like, oh, I just like, I want to be everything for you. That's so much responsibility for your child. They weren't designed to carry you. And when you feel like you're carrying them, they're actually carrying you. Knock it off. Knock it off. It's not fair. And that's not human. That's not what human says. Like Ashley, well, Ashley, you tell it better than I will. What does it mean for you to be in flow? And why is that a glorious thing for your children?
Well, for me to be in flow, it's really, instead of like walking through the mud and trying to just go from goal to goal and having the blinders on and just trying to just get to the next thing, because that will be my happiness. I will find my freedom and my happiness if I get to that point. If I make this much money, if I see these many patients, and then you never reach that point. And so it's like, how are you going to have a big life or a big vision if once you hit that goal, you're never really there? And so I always struggled with that. And so finding the flow, like now, things just happen. Like I'm having a doctor coming in, renting space. So now we're going to have a 2-doctor office. I have an esthetician that rents space, and we are going to now expand our location immediately. And for that kids, it gives my kids the freedom to be who they are and to know they have me if they need me, and I will always be there for them, living my life. And it shows them what's possible instead of what's not possible or what you have to do and what's expected of you. You can live your actual real truth. You know, we say so much now, you be you, you live your best life. But then when someone does, a lot of times you're like, oh, that's not. No, but if you're in flow, it happens. And they can see that.
So does that mean you're only available for your kids when they need you?
No, always.
You know, I see it like a raging river. And life can sometimes feel like a raging river. And mom's in the rage, just resolute. Like, I'm here. And when you're flying up past on the river, if you want to reach out, like, I'm resolute. Like, I'm right here. It's okay. But my river isn't raging too. Just calm. So if you want to come into the waters of mom's life, feel free. After school, during school, on the weekends, like I'm here in joy.
Exactly.
I'm here in joy. And I'm showing you by modeling it what a calm river can be like while yours is raging. So we can do the rage too, and we can jump in the rage and go crazy and potentially be swept under and then really do them no good. But many times what we do is instead we want them to be the calm in our raging river of our running everywhere, trying to prove I'm a really good mom. And kids are just like, slow your roll, mom. But they don't know how to say that. And so there just is like chaos. Mm-hmm. What's one piece of advice that you want to offer our audience who are in that state of Okay, like it may be good for you guys, but you just don't get it. Like I'm in the chaos.
I am in the chaos. 100%. I had my kids taken away because I was in an abusive relationship, running a business by myself, and I was 100% in that raging river and chaos. And I found you and found a rock to stand on until I was able to get to calm the waters and to get to do it. So it's possible. And once you really learn how to surrender in that flow, it's always going to be raging, and it's going to be another deadline, another crisis, and you're never going to get out of that. So stop waiting for that imaginary day and just find that rock and get on it and calm it down.
Surrender.
Mm-hmm.
Just surrender. Kind of like, so we have like a couple minutes left. Are you open to sharing about how what we just went through about your office space?
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was interesting because you told me to like list it out of what I wanted. And I got a little bit, and then I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know where I go. I don't know where my flow is taking me. And I was feeling a little bit of resistance. And then you said, where do I download the best? And I download in the car. And so now I'm taking a road trip, and I'm going to envision that space and have that destination set. So like the GPS, knowing where I need to go, so that way I can actually get there instead of just going do 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 do. So that is what we're doing.
And this came up about the space. So,
yes.
so Ashley shared with me that she wants to expand her office building, like expand her space and offer more services that she's already been training and already bringing in. And they need more space to be able to do those. And because the office that she really wants needs to have the space for all of these things. And she's like, but the problem is there's a shortage of office space in my area. I'm like, no, it was the key word. There's a shortage of available office space in my area. So take it from there.
And you basically told me, well, create your own. Go find the spaces that resonate best with you. Where's your, like, I took it as, where's my dream location, or where's the one that speaks the most to me, and go in and find out who owns the space, and see if I can get it. Because maybe that people aren't happy in their space, or it's not working for them, or they want to downsize. Who knows the reason? But if I make it available in my mind, I can make it available in my reality.
Because right now, what's available is based on somebody else's reality, where we can create what we want. And even if we don't see it as open, like, nope, actually, that's what I want. I want that. So I'm going to go find out who owns it, and then drop the idea in their realm of thinking to consider. And I said to Ashley, maybe somebody is in a bigger space and it doesn't fit them anymore. Maybe they feel like they're locked into this bigger space, and the one they want is actually your space that's 1,100 square feet instead of the 3,000 square foot place that they have. Like, it's totally possible. People move spaces all of the time. But oftentimes we just sit back and like, oh, not available. Yes, it is. You can see it. There are bigger spaces all over your city. And just because someone's in it now, they weren't in it before they signed that lease. So it doesn't mean that they have to be in it now when you want it. And no, for those of you who are like, oh, will you just push your way in? No, because any intelligence is way stronger than I am, but I'm for sure going to drop the idea into somebody else's thinking because I know what's on offer. And my dream life is what's on offer for me. It's on offer for Ashley, and that's how we live on the magic carpet instead of the hamster wheel. The hamster wheel is exhausting. So as we close this down, what word of encouragement do you have for those who have joined us or will join us later?
To just keep at it and find that flow and know it's there. And once you surrender, that's the word I would use. When you surrender, you'll enjoy life and you'll find that true freedom and happiness.
Awesome. Thanks, lady. Have
You're
a
welcome.
wonderful day, all of you. God bless you. Ash, you are covered and saturated in prayer from now until the end of tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See ya. Bye.